Hey everybody, welcome to Cheap Pops. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
If you don't know what a cheap pop is, then you're definitely not a wrestling fan. We're going to be talking about Wrestlemania today, not just this year's Wrestlemania, but we got a get your sign. We're going to have a Nick's pick with WrestleMania 5, but of course, 2 days ago, as we're recording right now, was WrestleMania 40. In Philadelphia, a buddy of mine went, his son, his whole family went. They had a really good time. I wish I had gone now that I didn't go, because with what happened, I really wish I had gone. But,
yes. This actually felt like a WrestleMania, unlike past few years.
Right. Night 2 more so. I mean, Night 1 was okay, but Night 2 was just was amazing. So,
especially what happened with the end, but we're not going to give that away yet.
Right. First, I'll show this. This is the prediction board. Now, I'll post a picture of this, but some of the matches I couldn't get everybody, and like the Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio match. First of all, they made a substitution, and I didn't have a card for that one.
Yeah.
So I just went with Escobar and Rey Mysterio as the card. The ladder match, I wasn't gonna do 12 cards, so I just did Finn Balor and Damian Priest, who were defending the titles. But this is a different way of doing it, and if you're like, oh well, you're ruining trading cards. You know how many of these I have? I've bought a lot of trading cards in my day. But this is the prediction board. I will be telling you who won and their picks and everything. But this was a hard WrestleMania to pick, in my opinion.
It was.
But it was a good WrestleMania. So,
and Corey Graves said it the best. Pro wrestling is back.
I would agree. It was really, really good. You can tell that Vince doesn't have any more influence. It was a really good show.
And like I told you on the way here, I have a resurgence to start watching it again.
Yeah. I mean, I DVR the stuff because I work nights, so I end up watching it in the morning when I get home. I haven't watched Raw yet. We're recording this on Tuesday, but I'm going to watch it later. But
I can watch it later on because I got Hulu.
Right. So the opening video with Meek Mill, and you know what? He may be really popular. He may be one of the highest selling rappers of all time. I don't care. You've done stuff with Sylvester Stallone before. Have him do the opening. Have one of the ECW guys do the opening.
Right.
Have Paul Heyman do the opening. Why did you need Meek Mill? I don't understand. And then they did the national anthem. I get it. It's a huge sporting event. And plus I didn't know who the person was either, so it just...
I didn't know who either one was on either night.
And like I said, they could be very famous, but the same thing when Bad Bunny showed up and everybody's like, oh, well, he's, the highest, streamed, whatever. I don't know him. And that's the thing, is that you expect everybody to know who these people are. Well, we don't.
But I will say this, he was pretty damn good in a couple of wrestling matches.
He was really good, and he respected the business.
Yes.
And I was saying to him, I get him being in the game, but Post Malone being in the game, but whatever.
And I've been clamoring for this, I want to see Dennis Rodman, NWO in the game.
Yeah, I think he wants too much money. I think that's what it is.
Hell, even if it's Jay Leno, that would be awesome. Yeah. Jay Leno in the wrestling game.
Alright, turn down the main Skid Row.
I can't.
I think they started out with a really good match for the first match. Becky Lynch's entrance with reading stuff from her book, and it's just the animation of the pages flipping on her book. I thought that was kind of weak. But I mean, I get it, and but I think it would have been better if if they did a video package of her saying that stuff instead of just flipping, or if it was video on the page, and they had the type underneath it. I think that would have been better. But
I really liked the ring jacket that she had, because if you look, it was actually pages of a book.
I thought that was really well done. It just the entrance kind of was, But Rhea Ripley...
Yeah, oh my God, that was awesome.
Yeah, Motionless in White sang Rhea Ripley, and it got her all fired up. And my buddy Dave, who went, Motionless in White was staying at the hotel that he was at, so that's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
I like Motionless in White. I think they're a really good band. So one thing I thought was funny was the advertisements on the ring posts and stuff.
I know.
It was dude wipes. Dude wipes during the women's title match. I thought that was funny. Yeah, just, I thought it was an okay match. Becky seemed off, but they mentioned during the match that she had strep throat. So if you're running 102-degree temperature, your timing might be a little off.
Yeah.
So I can understand that. Not saying it was a bad match. She just seemed to, it wasn't all there. Not Charlotte Flair not all there, but still, just but
still better than Charlotte Flair.
Right. I noticed this it's the first match, but I noticed it. I think Cole, Graves, and Pat McAfee are a really good three-man booth.
They are.
They do really good. McAfee knows when to stay to the side and just put certain things in. He doesn't try to overtake everything like a lot, like JBL used to do.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Or Booker T.
Chucky Ducky?
Yeah, I can't watch NXT because Booker T is horrible. Just horrible. But, it took Rhea Ripley 3 riptides to get the win, and she retained.
I can say this, and you can say this too. Michael Cole is actually tolerable to watch.
He is. He really is. And like you said, it's probably because Vince isn't in his ear.
Exactly.
And I think he has more passion for the product because of the direction that it's going in.
Yes.
That would be my guess, but, what do I know? And then, of course, the car crash of the 6-pack ladder match. I liked DIY coming out looking like DX with their, with the video, their video thing having the DX and stuff on it. It was DIY, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory. I thought I had it written down, but I probably don't.
Give me a sec to remember. Awesome Truth. And there was another tag.
The New Day.
Yes,
New Day. But it was and the catch group.
I want to say this, that I love the New Day's ring attire.
Yeah, the New Day's ring
especially Xavier Woods. Call it back, and I even said it on commentary.
No, they did not. They said Apollo Creed.
Oh, they did say Apollo Creed?
They did not say Consequences Creed, but I think Corey Graves wanted to say it, but he didn't. But it was cool,
It was really cool to see that callback right there.
Kofi had the Italian Stallion, the Rocky Balboa tights on, and Xavier had the Apollo Creed, but when he was Consequences Creed, he wore the same thing in TNA. So, well, not the same thing because this was actual tights. When he was Consequences Creed, he used to wear the actual Apollo Creed shorts. But
and it was really cool.
I think one of the best things was Tyler Bate picked up, Finn Balor had the ladder, and Tyler Bate got underneath him and lifted him up on his shoulders with the ladder and did an airplane spin and hit Kofi with it, and then dropped, the guy dropped the ladder, and then he kept doing the airplane spin. That showed a lot of strength, because he literally squatted both of them and started spinning. It was amazing.
I will say this, for a multi-man match, this was a really good one.
It was really good.
Other than the safety towards the end with the ladder almost buckling.
Oh yeah. R-Truth once again was standing on the outside wanting a hot tag. That was really cool. And then of course Grayson Waller got power bombed onto the ladder. Grayson Waller in Theory won the SmackDown titles, and then Ciampa told them to get the tables, and of course they had to make it a TLC match, which is fine.
I haven't seen a TLC match in a while.
Right. The slingshot DDT through the table by Gargano to the outside was amazing.
Yes.
DIY doesn't get the credit they deserve.
No, they don't.
The team they are, but
the next match was really good too. The tag match.
Right. Well, but we're not there yet.
Nope, not yet.
Ciampa did an air raid crash off the top of the ladder. That was crazy. And you could hear, like he said, you could hear Jessica Carr, the referee, telling Priest that the ladder was broken and not to use that one, and he did it anyways. And it buckled at one point when Miz got on it too. But Awesome Truth ended up winning the Raw tag titles. It was the first time R-Truth had gotten a win at WrestleMania. Really cool. The crowd went wild for it. Good stuff. Truth is kind of like William Regal, is a guy that should always have a job.
Yeah.
Because they're so entertaining. They're so good at what they do. You know.
Truth is very entertaining.
Truth is great. Truth, you know, I liked him when he was in TNA and he was the bad guy and he was, you know, the world heavyweight champion and talking about stuff being, he was talking about stuff being a conspiracy back then.
Exactly.
But like you said, the next match was the tag match.
And you want to talk about a slingshot? That was amazing, the slingshot.
Oh yeah, when the cross body block by, well, he used to be DJ Z, but I can't, Joaquin Wilde. But it was Rey Mysterio and Andrade against Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio. They had advertised it as Dragon Lee, but on SmackDown, like his knee was injured or whatever, so Andrade became the partner. So
I'm wondering if this is leading up to somebody turning on somebody, because Kofi wasn't. I mean, not Kofi.
Carlito
wasn't too crazy about this.
Right, and Carlito's better as a heel in my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyways,
and if they are leading to him being a heel, this will be awesome.
And Escobar's group really does need one person to switch, so the sides will be even. But I want to say the ads all around the barricades and on the ring post makes me feel. You ever watch one of the AAA pay-per-views, like the Triple Manias? Their ads are everywhere, and it made me feel like that. The Prime logo on the mat did not bother me as much as I thought it would.
On the turnbuckles, yes.
Yeah, the turnbuckles, yeah. But, and then, of course, they did, they had the hydration station with all the bottles on the outside.
That got demolished so many times throughout the course of almost every match.
Yeah. the double stack cross body they did off the top to the outside that was crazy. It was an okay match. It was kind of jumbled at the end, and then what is it? Jason Kelsey, the brother of Travis Kelsey. I can't think of his, but he and another football player, had luchador masks on, and they interfered and helped Ray get the win. So Ray and Andrade won. Not unexpected for me, but let's see. Oh, Jimmy and Jay Uso was next.
Ooh.
I thought it was an awesome video package.
It was, and I was watching a video on Facebook, and the guy said, "Oh, it didn't live up to hype, the Jimmy and Jay match." It didn't.
Yeah, and then Lil Wayne, doing his performance, yawn. I don't care about Lil Wayne. I don't care about any of the generation of the new rappers. I thought it was a good match, and Jay ended up getting the win. It was a good match. I'm not going to do like Jim Cornette and go blow by blow of everything that happened in the match. It's just... to me, it was what I expected from Jimmy and Jay Wrestling, and it looks like they're going to keep it going, which is fine with me, even though they're on separate brands, which is stupid because there's no brand split anymore. No. Guys are just going back.
Oh my God! And we're going through another draft.
Are they going to do another draft?
Yes.
Oh, well,
I just wanted to mention that to you.
Yeah, well,
that was the one thing I did know about from Raw.
Damage Control against Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. I think Bianca and Jade were very impressive in this match. I mean, there's not a lot to talk. I was watching it, but I wasn't taking notes on this match. I wasn't taking notes on a lot of them, just certain things. But there's some of the matches I like watching them and appreciating them, and not really. I'm not saying that I didn't notice things about the match, but I was looking forward to other matches more than this one.
Yeah.
So I paid less attention to it, but it was still a great match, and I thought their look looked really good, and Bianca Belair is a crazy athlete, and the crowd loves Jade Cargill. She's only been there, since the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
And she's only had 2 matches, maybe, and, but Cargill ended up getting the win, so, Jade and Bianca and Naomi got the win. This one surprised me. Gunther against Sammy for the Intercontinental title.
It surprised me too, because we both said the same one.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I didn't pay a lot of attention to this match. I was a little, I don't want to say burn out, but this night kind of dragged for me. the matches were good, but the flow of it didn't seem to fit with me. I think this match would have been better in between the ladder match and Jimmy and Jey Uso.
Yeah.
But Sammy won the IC title. I did not see that coming. I did not see Sami Zayn being the one to upset Gunther, but I'm sure Jim Cornette's going to have a field day with that one. But
oh, yeah.
It'll be fun to listen to. Great video for The Rock and Roman and Cody and Seth. They always had good video packages, but I think they've really stepped it up in the production values of their video packages.
And I see from your notes, and I wanted to bring this up too. What the fuck was Seth wearing?
The long robe, it looked like a wedding dress, but it was just the like blue tulip thing that
it's a hat.
It almost covered his entire right side of it and his head. It
was a hat.
It just I don't know. It was like they just he said what's in the back and they just threw it on there and sewed it on. But Rock's entrance and the title belt was dope. I mean, I don't get why Rock had a title belt, but it had the Brahma Bull on it and it said People's Champion, whatever. That he's one like Jericho, who just loves the smell of his own farts. And I get it. Biggest movie star on the planet. I might be high on myself too, but...
Did you happen to notice that also on night 1 that he looked like fucking Elvis?
Yeah, and on night 2 he did.
Yep.
But
more so on night 2 with the freaking white.
Yeah, I think Cody and Rollins are a great team. I thought they worked really well together.
They did.
It was a well-paced match. Did you notice... On the first attempt at the people's elbow, Rock had a real hard time getting his feet up over Cody on that jump. He's so he is gassed up, but he obviously has been doing some work in the ring because he had the cardio for this match. I did not think he was going to have the cardio to last through this match. I thought he was going to be blown up halfway through, but what else? Seth saved Cody. Roman speared The Rock, Seth pushed him out of the way. They both did pedigrees at one point.
What a reaction from The Rock, though.
Yeah. Cody hit The Rock bottom through a table on The Rock, and then a spear through the barricade. They do the spear through the barricade. Wait, they did it on both nights. Roman did it to Cody, right? On the first night, or Seth.
One of them,
and then on the next night, Cody speared, Roman through the barricade.
I want to say one thing, and I thought it was freaking hilarious. The Rock, I'm talking to the referee. If you ring the bell, I'll fucking fire you.
Yeah. And then The Rock won with the rock bottom and the people's elbow. So that meant Bloodline rules for night 2. All in all, I mean, my buddy Dave said 6 out of 10. For the quality of the matches, I'm going to say a 7. Because the matches were really good. It just did not seem to flow well for me, but,
But night 2?
Night 2, did you live up to the hype?
Oh fuck yes.
Well, except for the beginning, with Stephanie McMahon coming out and trying to do a pump-up video and get everybody psyched. I was not psyched to see Stephanie McMahon.
No, I was more psyched to see Triple H.
Yeah, exactly. Stephanie stay behind the scenes with all the stuff that's going on right now, and
I wouldn't want to be out there.
Yeah, I get you want to put a brave face on things, and you're the only McMahon left in the company.
Besides, I think Shane's still around.
I don't know, but it wasn't for me. The reason this flag is here, because old school fans are going to notice.
Oh, yeah. I noticed.
The song that the bagpipers were playing was Hot Rod Roddy Piper's music. That was really cool. I thought he was going to come out and do that the whole match. And I loved when Punk called it sacrilege, too.
Right?
Because McAfee was like, what is this song? And Punk was like, it's sacrilege, because it's Roddy Piper's music, which was great. Crazy entrance for Rollins. That just... all the dancers and all the stuff that they had on, it was just crazy and ridiculous. But right at the ring bell, what does Drew McIntyre do?
Boom! Claymore!
They killed the Claymore as a finisher in this match. He did so many claymores and Rollins kicked out. It was ridiculous. Never use that as a finisher again. Use the Future Shock DDT or something because you completely killed the claymore, in my opinion. What was it? Drew McIntyre at one point did he was going to go to the crowd to sleep, and Punk goes, he's talking about how he's putting this crowd to sleep. Punk was tremendous on commentary.
Yes, he
Not
was.
as good as Snoop Dogg would be later in the night, but Punk was great on commentary. Rollins did a stomp on the table. He was selling his leg through the whole match. I already said they killed the Claymores.
That, and he was also selling his back.
Yeah. He was selling everything that he supposedly is injured, so that was good. McIntyre wins world title. The commentary team said it's the first time that, he's won a world title in front of fans. That's a lie. He was TNA world champion. And see, that makes me angry because you had Jordan Grace, who was the Impact World Champion, in the Royal Rumble. A couple of years before that, you had Mickie James, who was the Impact Knockouts Champion.
And you're not talking about this?
You've talked about... You did a whole episode of Something to Wrestle With where they talked about AJ Styles and TNA on the WWE Network. But you can't acknowledge that Drew McIntyre was a champion before? That's ridiculous.
It is kind of ridiculous.
He celebrated in Punk's face, did a crotch chop, and then Punk just swiped his knees out from underneath him on the table, hit him with the brace, and then put the boots to him, and Damian Priest's music hits. Runs down with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I guess you can figure out what happens.
Damian Priest is the new World Heavyweight Champion.
It was really, really cool. And you could tell that that's one of Triple H's guys, you know what I mean?
Hell yes.
And I met him at an indie show a few years ago, and he was really, really nice back when he was Punishment Martinez. He's young enough. I think he can do really well when he finally breaks out. Or even if he's the leader of Judgment Day and he's the world champ.
Yeah.
And he uses the rest of the group to help him. Perfect for me.
You're going to like Monday Night Raw, though, because I did see bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. The next match had Snoop Doggy Dogg on commentary.
Yeah!
It was the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, and the AOP against Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. I guess I heard they were calling them the Pride, but they didn't say that on the match. But
can I say who the guest referee was?
Yeah.
It was Bubba Ray Dudley.
Yep. And when they pulled out a table, Snoop Dogg called it a picnic table, and then he played his best Yogi Bear, and said a picnic table, boo boo. And Snoop was great. I think Cross and AOP look great as a group.
Yes,
I really, really do. Paul Ellering doesn't add much, but Scarlett, I think Scarlett's great on the outside. At one point, B-Fab and Scarlett, crashed through a table.
That was really good.
Yeah, that was good. And then Cross wanted Bubba to count to 3, and he shoved Bubba, so Bubba put the Dudley's glasses on, and then yeah, and then they pulled out another table, and Snoop called it the family reunion table. He was really, really good. And Montez did a huge frog splash through the table and got the win. AJ Styles came out to new music.
That was really cool.
It was, and the crowd was really hot for LA Knight. That was AJ Styles against LA Knight was the next match. I'm glad they gave LA Knight the win. He needs it. He needs something because if you wait too long, he's going to turn into Braun Strowman.
Yeah, please do not turn him into Braun Strowman.
Like they did that with Ricochet too. For a while, the fans cared about Ricochet, and they did nothing with him.
And now nobody wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah, and they kind of did the Steve. I call it the Steve Austin spot. It always happened with Austin. He would pull back the ring mats outside the ring to pile drive somebody on the concrete, but he would always end up being the one getting backdropped on the concrete. He'd do it so many times. It was kind of like what Andre used to do with tying himself up into the ropes. You know what I mean? Some guys have their, but LA Knight won. I thought it was a good match.
Speaking of Austin, should we talk about what's behind the hard
You go right ahead, because I need another drink.
I think this is Judgment Day, right?
It is. Good
Judgment Day. I think you're still going with 01.
Yes, indeed.
01. Right now we got Undertaker versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep, for the World Heavyweight title.
And this is back when it was still really good and watchable.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is now. But
It finally is back to being watchable.
Yeah. The next match, a triple threat for the U.S. title. Logan Paul came out in a ridiculous prime truck. From what I've heard, this stuff tastes good. I haven't tried it.
I'm not gonna try it. No.
It's not like an energy drink. It's kind of like a Gatorade. It's got the electrolytes in it.
Yeah, still, I'm not gonna do it.
You know, but and Kevin Owens came out on a golf cart like he did on SmackDown, and then he ran it up, halfway down the ramp, and then Orton came out. So what does Kevin Owens do? He backs it all the way back up the ramp.
And he almost hit Randy.
Yeah, and Orton, gets on the back of it and hangs on and, rides down the ramp. And they worked together through most of the match, which was cool, because nobody likes Logan Paul.
No.
Let's see.
And you and I were surprised about this.
Yeah, I thought Kevin Owens was really good. Orton kicked out of, a shot with brass knuckles. And then they did the stupid interference again by some flunky that we're supposed to know who he is. They're talking about like he's the most popular streamer, out there right now. I don't care. Have somebody that's on the roster be, helping Logan Paul.
Right.
A legend that we all know. It's stupid to me, but, Logan Paul took advantage of the RKO and then hit a big frog splash and retained the U.S. title. So. I thought it was a good match. It's predictable.
Exactly. All of Logan Paul's matches are predictable now.
Yeah. He's a crazy athlete. He can do amazing stuff. Like the buckshot lariat that he does where he did a double one this time was really, really good. I don't like it when it can be totally predictable. I mean, Randy, ropes anymore. If he doesn't do that anymore, I will love it because I used to hate it when he would do that in every match. That's but the next to last match, Bayley against Io Sky for the SmackDown Women's title. Was the crowd as annoying for you as it was for me, where they were just singing that song that the British fans came up with back in the NXT days?
Yes. They
were singing it and not paying a damn bit of attention to the match, and it was a really good match.
It is what really was a good match.
Io Sky's really, really good. Bayley's always been good in my opinion. I mean, all you have to do is go back to her matches with Sasha Banks and NXT, like their Iron Woman match and all that stuff. But I thought the crowd was disrespectful in my mind.
And for that match, yeah.
Yeah, because it was a good match, and I get it, you want to participate, and yes, there's been chants, but do it to a point. When you're doing it and you're just doing it to do it, that's kind of like when people bring beach balls and, they're knocking a beach ball around.
Speaking of that, did you happen to see a fucking beach ball in the audience? I did.
I didn't. The one German suplex that Io Sky did folded Bayley up pretty bad, like on the side of her neck. That didn't look good. Bayley made a huge comeback and won the title. I'm glad that Bayley got that. She's done she's done stuff at WrestleMania, but she's never gotten that thing. That
big,
really good win, the big win. Yeah. Awesome video package for Roman against Cody. Ever since Kevin Dunn's been gone, it's just been it's been so good. They're not doing the shaky camera stuff for action. They're doing less camera cuts. I think it's really, really
And
good.
I want to talk about the camera work for this because
go ahead.
They instead of the big huge boom like way back in the day, it was done by drones.
Yep.
I mean, a couple of times you did see drones through some of the camera cuts, but it was awesome.
But it's also not something that's going to take you out of it either.
No.
You know what I mean? So,
did you happen to see the video work with them introducing this is the challenger, this is...
Oh yeah, they're using the 4K cameras.
And that was really awesome.
Yeah, it looks... They can't do that for the whole match because the way the visual is on those, it would make the match look really weird because it's in such high definition. I don't think you can. It would make it look really, really weird.
When Mom was watching it, she goes, "It looks like a video game."
Yeah, because you can see the difference when they switch to that camera, and to me, it would be like going to a 3D movie. After a while, my eyes start to hurt, and I wouldn't want that in a big match like that. But this has.
But that was really cool.
No, it was really cool. I liked how they did it, and they're cutting down the graphics, like the animations a little bit. They're not doing it as big as they were, which I like. The Matt Riddle with the stuff, the birds and all that stuff. They're not doing as much of that. But this had a big fight feel to me.
It did.
They have been building, and I will say, I was pissed last year when Cody lost. But getting to this point and how they built this up, totally worth it. Totally worth it. Knowing that this is where they ended it, I'm totally cool with,
I'm going to say it again. Wait until you see Raw.
All right. Well, Roman came out with a whole orchestra playing his entrance theme. That was really cool.
I want to say this, too, and I sent you the video, too, where the guy said, overbooked mess for the main event. Fuck you, it was an overbooked mess.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on, but it was what they needed to. You needed stuff to happen to the bloodline. You needed that, And Cena had the natural thing with Cody, with Solo. Jimmy and Jay had their natural thing going on. Rollins coming in made sense. Came out to the Shield music. Totally made sense. He had said he was going to be Cody's Shield.
And The Undertaker coming out, that made a lot of sense.
And to be honest, it would have been better if it was Austin, but they've never done a feud with The Rock and The Undertaker. They've never done it. So if this is going to be an Undertaker match where he's going to come back for one more, and he's going to do it with The Rock, I'm okay with it. Totally okay with it. Because I think Undertaker's been gone long enough where he's healed up enough where he can actually have a passable match, and The Rock can draw. He can play to the crowd and do all his stuff, and but
it would be so awesome.
Yeah, and it's not like The Undertaker came and chokeslammed everybody. He chokeslammed The Rock. The lights went out and he left. Fine with me.
At first, I thought he took The Rock with him.
Yeah.
When the lights came back on, I'm like.
Right.
Where the fuck did The Rock go?
Yeah, I did like that Pat McAfee called Charles Robinson Little Nate.
Yes!
That was really great. Roman used the Crossroads, but then said that move doesn't beat anybody. That was really funny.
Did you hear him when he called Cody Rhodes a bitch? And if you watch the replay, they cut it out. But Pat McAfee goes, Roman Reigns, you do your shit!
Yeah. Roman Reigns hit a low blow and then a huge power bomb through the table on the outside. Jimmy interfered, but then Jey Uso came out to help. Spear off the stage.
That was amazing.
That was crazy. There wasn't much room for error on that one. That was and then of course Solo interfered. And the thing to me is they did a combination where Solo did the spike and Roman did the spear at the same time. You shouldn't have done that. Just having Solo hold Cody up for the spear made a lot of sense. But for him to take two finishers at the same time and kick out, you shouldn't have done that, in my opinion.
No.
It made Cody look too much like a Superman at that point for me. But, the way it ended up, whatever. Cena came out, which was cool. He was worried more about his hair than he was anything else. But,
Did you happen to see how much muscle he lost?
Oh, dude, he's lost a lot of muscle, and he's pale as fuck right now.
I want to talk about with him running. Just do.
Yeah, he wasn't in any hurry.
I couldn't stop laughing, though, when he goes, finish him, and then Roman goes, I know!
Yeah, that was funny. And Cena even did an AA on Roman, and then an AA on Solo through the table. So then, of course, The Rock comes out, and he's going to whip, Cody with the Mama Rhodes belt, and the Shield music hits. Really cool. And the way they kept the camera tight so you didn't see Rollins coming in, you saw, Roman come in to do the Superman punch, and Rollins had a chair, and he just gets knocked out with a Superman punch. But coming out with the Shield music, and he had the Shield gear on, really, really cool. And then the one thing that I hated was when the gong hit, The Rock was still talking, so I think it kind of muted the effect of the gong a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, the crowd went absolutely ape shit.
Yes,
when
they
the gong
did.
hit. So, and this crowd had been silent for a lot of night one. So, but Taker ended up being behind The Rock in the ring, hit a choke slam. It wasn't a good choke slam, but it was still a choke slam. I think with the pants that The Rock had on, the Undertaker had gloves on too. So I don't think he had a good chance to really grip on him and get him up for it. And of course, The Rock, he had trouble jumping up to get over Cody people's elbows. So
right.
Getting up on a choke slam might have been hard for him too. I thought of this when Roman hit Seth Rollins. That was a chair shot 10 years in the making.
Yes, that's what I thought too.
That shot that Rollins gave to break up the Shield was 10 years ago. So that was pretty cool. 3 Crossroads. Cody finishes the story. I loved seeing the handshake between Cody and Rollins at the end.
Yes.
Of that. Huge celebration. I mean, Cody Rhodes' mom was in there. His wife was in there. It was, a lot of wrestlers were in the ring too. It was really cool.
Did you see the video? If not, I'll send it to you. Where Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns were at the top of the stage.
I've seen that on TikTok, yeah. And I've also seen video of Ricky Starks and Dustin Rhodes up in a skybox celebrating as well. So, and I get that he's with the AEW, and maybe Tony Khan didn't want him mentioned, but the fact that you're talking about Dusty all the time and you didn't mention Dustin once,
right?
You could have mentioned him. It's not like you had to glorify that he was there, or you could have just said Dustin also was a wrestler or something like that.
Yeah,
and the ring announcer Samantha Irvin had a hard time getting the ring announcement out because she had so overcome with emotion, and you could feel it. Oh yeah, and Michael Cole was teared up, and Corey Graves was. It was a really cool moment, and Cody Rhodes' music played through like 5 times, and the crowd was whoaing every time. It was really cool. I laughed when the 3 count hits, and if you look in the back on the look on Pat McAfee's face, where he's like, yeah. But before we get into your next pick, we both watched this. This is very funny, this movie. Freelance, John Cena. He was a special forces guy, retiring, and he goes as a personal security for a journalist going to interview a dictator. The dictator was hilarious. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of the part that Sacha Baron Cohen played in The Dictator. Yep. Just a really funny, weird, guy. It was really, really cool. The director was the same director of Taken, the Liam Neeson movie. It's well worth the $15 that you're going to pay at Walmart or, to stream it or whatever. Really, really good movie with John Cena in it. I didn't know what to expect. I loved the first-person view they did. Yes. John Cena was narrating it to set up the movie. I thought that was really cool. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but the real bad guy in the movie, he was the lead villain in Triple X. Yes, I did notice that. That was really cool. And the blooper reel at the end of the movie was really funny, too. It was. But Freelance with John Cena, if you have a chance to watch it, it's really, really good. I didn't know what to expect. This is not the last of the movies we are going to review. No. We have plenty more, but I want to do a call out to the one I was talking to you about that I started watching today. Yep. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, the Tarantino movie. Yeah. I'm halfway through it, and I'm still on the edge of my seat because I want to see the rest of this. Right. But get your sign back out again. Ba 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 ba. You love that thing, don't you? Yes, I do. One of the best things I ever ordered. So, what did you pick this time? Wrestlemania 5. This is my favorite WrestleMania of all time, so I'm glad you picked it. The Mega Powers explode.
I knew this was your favorite WrestleMania, and I knew that we wanted to talk about this for a while.
Yep. Rockin' Robin, the wrestler, did the national anthem, and how bad was this? Oh my God. She was so off key, and she was off on the music.
I think she was really nervous.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. She shouldn't have been singing that, but what was the opening match? Do you remember?
I'm trying to fucking remember.
King Haku against Hercules.
Yep.
And Haku was always one of my favorites as a kid, but from now on, whenever I see him wrestle, all I'm going to be able to think is him with the belly laugh seeing the Shockmaster thing on Dark Side of the Ring. That's the only thing I'm ever going to remember is that mountain, that beast of a man belly laughing watching the Shockmaster. That's all I'm ever going to remember, and I love it. I thought of this. I don't know if you can see it, if you can picture this, but you shave Hercules' beard and you shave his head, he's Ryback.
Yep!
He's Ryback. He is totally Ryback. Just, seriously, Google Hercules, Google Ryback, shave off his beard, shave off his hair, he's Ryback. I'm telling you, he's Ryback. Great opener, though. Hercules ended up getting the win with a belly-to-back suplex, and Hercules got the shoulder up. So.
But you want to talk about somebody that they should have put over right there. Hercules or Haku. They should have put over a lot more than they did.
The problem was, at that point in time, they had so many big stars.
Yes.
And Hogan was going to dominate everything.
Yep.
And Macho Man was going to dominate everything. And then you had Dusty Rhodes coming in. You know, it just... There was only so much they could do, but I agreed they should have brought some guys up.
Dusty coming in with his polka dots.
The next match, the Rockers...
Sorry, I just had to do it.
Sorry. The Rockers against the Twin Towers. If you don't know who the Twin Towers were, Big Boss Man and Akeem.
Great tag team, by the way.
Right. And also, I think one of the best action figures they ever did was the Hasbro of Akeem, who had the dashiki and the hat on. You know, like, just, it was great.
And he's always...
Yeah. I think it was a great showcase of both team skills. You had the power of the Twin Towers and the speed of the Rockers. That one clothesline by Akeem when they turned Marty Jannetty for a complete flip was really, really cool. Boss Man did that spine buster off the second rope, which was really cool. And then Akeem hit a splash, and they beat the Rockers. They were building up the Twin Towers at the time. Totally get it.
Then, I think it was next year that they split, that they were going against each other.
Yes, Boss Man and Akeem. Yep. Yeah, they turned Boss Man babyface. Yep.
Yep.
Good memory. The next match, this is kind of apropos because they just did the Dark Side of the Ring on Brutus Beefcake.
Yep.
Brutus Beefcake against Ted DiBiase. I thought it was a good match. DiBiase's always been a pro.
I love Ted DiBiase.
DiBiase is one of those guys. I understand when people say he didn't need a belt. He had the $1 million belt, which was perfect for him. I think he should have had at least a transitional thing as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes. He should have had a world title run.
Yeah, you know, even if it was for a month, you know.
Right.
I mean? But it ended up being a double count out. It was just kind of a filler match, so.
Not to knock about the Mega Powers imploding. Mm-hmm. I think he should have won it at WrestleMania 4, the tournament.
DiBiase?
Yes, then had Hogan and Ted DiBiase. You could have done so much with it.
Yeah, but I get why they wanted to go with Savage.
Yes.
You know, Rougeau's against the Bushwhackers. This was mainly a comedy match.
It was.
And this is the match where there's an infamous gif of this match where Raymond picks up, I think it's Luke, for a body slam, and you see Luke, like, grab his balls and, like, tug on him and kind of like shake him, and then he gets slammed. There's a gif out there of it. It's pretty disturbing, but you know, the Bushwhackers get a win with the double stomach breaker, and then after the match, Sean Mooney is out in the crowd, and he's, you know, about to do an interview, talk to the crowd, and he gets licked by the Bushwhackers. You could not do that stuff today.
No!
Where the Bushwhackers go around the ring licking little kids in the forehead. You couldn't do it today. But what'd you think of Run DMC's WrestleMania rap?
Oh my god.
Oh. But thankfully they redeemed themselves by doing DX's theme in 2000 on the Aggression album. They redeemed themselves for this awful, awful rap. But still a better rap than anything Oscar did as the manager for Men on a Mission.
Yes!
Horrible. Worst rapper of all time. My favorite match of the entire night, not just because my favorite tag team was in it, but I thought of the psychology of it was really good. 3-on-2, Powers of Pain and Mr. Fuji against Demolition.
Ooh! Mr. Fuji!
And I thought about this. I have met everyone in that match except Mr. Fuji. I met the Powers of Pain separately, and I met Demolition. So, really cool. I thought that was really cool. I thought about this, well, not just during this match, but through the entire night. I think this is the best commentary job that Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura ever did together.
Yes!
They were on fire through this entire pay-per-view. You have to watch this with the commentary on. Gorilla and Jesse were just completely on fire. It was great.
They always gelled nicely together.
Really, but I think they were just on the ball on this one. I think this match showed how good Demolition really, really is.
Oh,
really,
hell yeah.
Was. Mr. Fuji went in his tights to get the salt, to throw in, I think it was Axe's eyes, and he missed, and then Demolition did their finisher on Fuji, and so they retained the titles. I thought it was great.
Mr. Fuji.
Mr. Fuji, yeah. Another guilty pleasure of mine, one of my favorites, I don't know why, he always entertained me. Dino Bravo against Rugged Ronnie Garvin. I was always entertained by Dino. And for no apparent reason whatsoever, before the match happens, while the two wrestlers are standing in the ring, Howard Finkel just announces Superfly Jimmy Snuka. He comes out to his music, he does his pose in the middle of the ring, and then just leaves. What was that? Why did you do that while the guys were already in the ring? That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. But whatever. I think Bravo was always good on the mid-card matches.
Yes.
Bravo ended up getting the win, and then Garvin did the Garvin Stomp on Frenchie Martin. If you don't know what the Garvin Stomp is, the guy would be the opponent would be laying on the mat, and Ronnie Garvin would just stomp different points all the way around his body. Yep. Like shoulder to arm to wrist to leg, thigh, ankle.
Kind of like what Randy Orton.
Yeah, Orton did it for a while, and they always acknowledged it as the Garvin Stomp, which I always thought was
yes. Did you watch the Dark Side of the Ring episode on Dino Bravo?
Oh yeah, crazy.
Oh, I know.
Shot 7 times in the head, execution style, but when you work with the mob, sometimes those things happen.
Right.
I really liked this next tag match, the Brain Busters against Strike Force. The Brain Busters are Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, and Strike Force was Tito Santana and Rick Martel.
I think this is the one where they divide.
Yes. And to me, 4 of the most underrated wrestlers ever. Tito Santana, I think, was one of the MVPs of that company. You could always count on Tito Santana to have a good match, no matter who he was in the ring with. As evident by the matches in 90, where he had matches with the Barbarian and the Warlord, and he got good matches out of both of them. So,
and you know how much I like the Model Martel.
Yeah, the model was great. It was real. But what happened was Tito Santana accidentally hit Rick Martel with his flying forearm. Martel walked out and then did an interview after the match. Tito Santana ended up losing after taking a spike pile driver, and that set up the Strike Force disbanding and the feud that ended up happening with Tito and Rick Martel, which also, they never did that as a pay-per-view match, which always puzzled me. Right. They never did a blow-off of Tito and Rick Martel at a pay-per-view. I always thought that was kind of weird.
They should have.
And then the segment that, in hindsight, went way too long and I'm not as entertained by it as I was previously. It was a Piper's Pit with Brother Love and Morton Downey Jr. If you don't know who Morton Downey Jr. is, think of Jerry Springer mixed with Jim Cornette.
Yep.
Not Jim Cornette's political views, but how fiery Jim Cornette gets on his opinions. That's the kind of show it is. Brother Love came out and was imitating, Roddy Piper. Did a great job. Bruce Pritchard always did good.
Oh my God! And here goes the.
Yeah, Piper pulled off his kilt, and it was. I'm not saying it was a bad segment, but it went too long.
Yeah.
And it was on a pay-per-view. This was a Saturday night's main event thing to me.
Yeah.
And then once Brother Love ran away, Morton Downey Jr. kept blowing his cigarette smoke in Roddy Piper's face. So what does Roddy Piper do?
Pulls out a fire extinguisher, people.
Yep. And just douses Morton Downey Jr. with it, and his music, Roddy Piper's music hits, and then he throws the fire extinguisher in the air and walks away.
Yep.
Not saying it was bad, it just, I don't know. And then, one of my favorite parts of the whole thing, they played I don't think they showed it on this, but they played the video of No Holds Barred, like the trailer for No Holds Barred, and Jesse Ventura just flips out about Hulk Hogan doing a movie and going to Hollywood, and it was just really, really good. And then they did a great video package talking about the Mega Powers, which I thought was kind of weird that they did it halfway through the pay-per-view, but, what are you going to do? And then, do you remember what the next match was that kind of dragged down the whole show for me?
I'm trying to remember, but...
Andre the Giant against Jake the Snake Roberts with Big John Studd as the special guest referee. Did you notice what was going on when Big John Studd came out?
No, I couldn't.
The music. If you listen to it close, it is like a demo version of Hacksaw Jim Duggan's music. Just, there's little nuances that I pick up when I watch these things. Andre jump-started it, and he rammed Jake the Snake's head into the turnbuckle. No turnbuckle pad. How did that happen? But they mentioned it a lot through the match. Jesse Ventura did a really good job of that. Like I mentioned before, with people having the spots that they like to do, Andre ended up tying himself into the ropes, and Jake was choking him and stuff. And I wrote this down. Way too long of a match. Andre should not have been having matches this long at this point. But it was a DQ when Andre attacked Big John Studd.
I was going to say, didn't it end with a DQ?
Yep. And then Ted DiBiase and Virgil came out to take Damien, but Jake went out and grabbed the snake, and Jake used Damien to get Andre the Giant off of Big John Studd. A lot of the build-up to the match was that Andre was scared of the snake. The only thing that Andre the Giant was scared of. So, the next match, a different tag match than any of the other ones. The Hart Foundation against Rhythm and Blues. Now, they were not named Rhythm and Blues yet. They were still singles competitors at this point, Honky Tonk Man and Greg the Hammer Valentine, but because they were managed by Jimmy Hart, they were made a tag team. But it was about a year later before they were actually called Rhythm and Blues. Greg the Hammer Valentine still had the blonde hair at this point. So,
and it was next year's WrestleMania that they entered down to with the pink Cadillac.
Yep, driven by Diamond Dallas Page, and it was Diamond Dallas Page's own Cadillac.
Yep.
So, it was an okay match. The Anvil, Jim Neidhart chased Jimmy Hart around the ring. Jimmy Hart dropped the megaphone, on accident on the ring apron. Neidhart just tosses it into the ring, and this is one of the weirdest. He took care of Honky on this one. He hit him on the shoulder with the megaphone, and Honky sold it like he hit him in the head. And the Hart Foundation got the win, and Jesse Ventura went nuts about, the Hart Foundation cheating, to get the win. But he loved it when Bobby Heenan cheated later in the night.
Right.
So, and this is another thing that I picked up. I don't know if you picked it up. Did you happen to notice what the ring skirt looked like on the pay-per-view?
It kind of looked metallic looking.
Yes, but that's not what I was getting at. If you look closely, because WrestleMania 5 is just the V, if you look closely, it's the WrestleMania 4 ring skirt, and they just took out the I in front of the V. Because if you look, yes, the letters are gold, but you can see the purple part where the I used to be in between the WrestleMania and the V. Look at it again, and you'll see that they repurposed the WrestleMania 4 ring skirt. Little thing I picked up on there. But I think this next match was the best Ultimate Warrior match ever. A lot of people think it's Hulk Hogan against Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 6. I say this match is his best match ever. Intercontinental title against Ravishing Rick Rude. They really showcased Warrior's power. I mean, he was just shoving the Ultimate Warrior into the into the turnbuckle and doing all kinds of power stuff to him. It shows how much of a pro Rude is to get this good of a match out of the Ultimate Warrior. Not throwing shade on the Ultimate Warrior. It was one of my favorites as a kid. I met him in 2014. It was really cool to meet him, but Ultimate Warrior went for a suplex to suplex Rick Rude back into the ring. Bobby Heenan grabbed the leg, tripped him, held the leg down, and Rick Rude won the Intercontinental title. Great match.
Absolutely. And I think it was SummerSlam of that year that they had a rematch.
Yes, it was. Yep. And that was a good match, too. This next match was a horrible match. And I hate saying this about a hometown guy, but Hacksaw Jim Duggan against Bad News Brown. I get that you want to get these guys on the card, but I have never seen a good Bad News Brown match. Sorry, I heard that he was a badass and, he did judo and stuff, but man, this was hard to watch. But it ended up being a double DQ when Bad News Brown had a chair and Hacksaw grabbed the 2x4 and they did the whole sword fight with the chair and the 2x4. But and then Bobby Heenan comes out with the Brooklyn Brawler against the Red Rooster. Heenan went for a shoulder block into the ring, into the corner. He missed, hit the ring post, and Rooster pinned him less than a minute. And then the Brooklyn Brawler attacked the Red Rooster after the match, and
you want to talk about being slapped with a bag freaking gimmick?
What, the Red Rooster?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least he could have been worse. He could have been dressed up like the Gobbledygooker. But
sorry, people, we're getting ahead of ourselves with that one.
Yeah, right. And then it's time for the main event. Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
The Mega Powers are going to explode. Macho Man comes in as the world champion, having held the title for an entire year. Savage came out first, which is not traditional. Usually the challenger comes out first. But it's Hulk Hogan. He's the biggest star in the company. Of course he's going to come out last. But then, of course, Liz comes out. Miss Elizabeth comes out to the same music as Macho Man because she was his manager, and then Hogan comes out to his music, and he gets, the security coming down with him and all that stuff.
The one thing I found weird is that Miss Elizabeth got thrown out of this match.
Yeah. I don't think they wanted her to be part of the end of it. I think they wanted it to end up just being Hogan and Savage, so that's why they did it. I understand that. Savage was so good in this era.
Yes.
When he did this, and then he went to being the Macho King during the summer and all that.
I love the Macho King.
Macho King was great. It was so good.
Speaking of Macho King, the DLC actually dropped, and the Macho King's in the new wrestling game.
That's great. That's really cool. What else have they... You showed me some stuff with the game. What's going on with the game?
They have... I don't know when it's going to be dropping before long, but the arena for WrestleMania 40 is going to be in the game.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool DLC.
Later on, they're going to have ECW wrestlers in the game.
Oh, it's about time.
Right? Terry Funk's going to be in the part of that DLC.
Nice.
Triple H from WrestleMania 30 is part of the DLC pack from WrestleMania.
I don't really care about that. Yeah, I get it.
And I did show you the video package for that, where he's taking Rey Mysterio from WrestleMania 22. was in that pack.
Yep.
There's a couple other ones too. I gotta. But it's getting really good.
Good, and you know he always sends me up videos of all the stuff he's doing in the game and creating in the game, and you know. So.
I think the most funniest video I sent you was the Rock glitching out in the backstage area.
Oh yeah. But back to the match.
Sorry. Did we get sidetracked?
No, it's all good. It's all good. You know that was good. It was a good match. Macho Man hit the huge elbow drop off the top. I think it's one of the best ones he's ever done. But of course, kick out, Hulk up, 3 punches in the boot, and new champion Hulk Hogan. You know, and also one of the great. I don't know which kid if this was one of Donald Trump's kids back in the day, but he had one of the Hulk Hogan, foam hands, and Macho Man at one point went out and ripped it up and threw it up in the air. Great stuff, But Hulk Hogan, new world heavyweight champion.
And for you people that don't know, WrestleMania 4 and 5 were held in the Trump Plaza.
Yep. The only time they've ever gone back to the same place twice.
Yep.
But my favorite WrestleMania of all time.
No. Madison Square Garden. Twice.
No, I mean back-to-back years.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yep. And surprisingly, this Trump Plaza in Atlantic City is now no longer standing.
Oh, yeah, they demolished that a long time ago. But I'm going to brag a little bit because I counted up who won of the predictions for WrestleMania 40. He had 5 right. I had 11. 11! But to be honest, I usually lose. Whenever we do the prediction board, I usually lose. So I'm but I love doing this. Usually I just print out because they have on the WWE website they have the picture, of the match itself.
But hey, I like this a lot better.
But I'm not going to waste any more trading cards. Next year I'm just going to print out the pictures again. But I thought it was something fun, and then I realized how many people were actually on this pay-per-view, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All in all, great WrestleMania 40, great WrestleMania. But before we finish up, I will be at an XWA event. He has to work, so he can't go. The Pittsfield Masonic Lodge. Saturday, April 13th at 5 p.m. That's a little different, but I don't care. I mean, it means I'll get home earlier, so I don't care about that. But let's see. Jeff Nova, again, I mean, unless you're in the Northeast, you probably don't know a lot of these names, but I'm going to announce them anyways. I think you should go. Indie wrestling is fun. If you're in the Northeast, I mean, I'm driving 2 hours to get there. To me, it's worth it. For these shows. We've said it before.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Nova against Blaze Haram. Fox Vineyard against Sweet Cheeks. I don't know who Sweet Cheeks is. The American Avenger. I've never seen him before. Against Pepe Le Poulet. We've seen Pepe Le Poulet. Great character. Great stuff. Justin Rando against Brandon Smith. I don't know. This Brandon Smith is a cowboy. If he's the same cowboy that was at the last show and had that, no offense, had the horrible match. I hope it's not, but whatever.
But he did get a good receipt.
Yeah, a couple good receipts. Speaking of receipts, it was Hardbody Harlow, who's in the next match, who was given those receipts. She's really good. She's a really good character. Against somebody I've never heard of before, Tiffany Grady. I'm interested to see it. I like Hardbody Harlow, so. And then two of my favorites, Shockwave the Robot against the Music Man. I love the Music Man's character. He's great. If you want to, I think XWA puts their matches up on YouTube. So check out XWA Wrestling if you need to know. It's a skull and crossbones on the logo. That's what you need to look for. But the main event, the Slam Burglar Rob Chase against Lumberjack Shark for the XWA Championship. And they've announced that there's going to be a special referee. They have not announced who it's going to be. No, don't mention it. Don't say who it is. But there's going to be a special referee. It's kind of obvious, but I'm not going to say nothing. It's not my place to say anything. But Saturday, April 13th at 5 p.m., Masonic Lodge in Pittsfield. I'm gonna have a table set up. It sucks you can't go, but hey, life happens.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Just like at the Wrestling Classic, I'm not gonna do the trivia unless somebody wants to do trivia. I'll do trivia, but I'm not gonna have the sign up talking about trivia. I am gonna have the sign up asking if anybody wants to try to name our character and win a prize pack. I've actually found some extra autographs that I forgot I had that are going to go in that prize pack. I'm going to have the Tootsie Rolls and the Deadpool head. I'm going to have our tablet with our show, and I'm just going to get the word out about the show. That's all.
You know what? You should do like what on South Park. Have a tablet and have me live stream with you.
I'm not. Well, for one thing, I don't know if they have Wi-Fi there, and I'm definitely not going to live stream with you. But how you going to live stream from work? What? No. But so I'm gonna be doing that. Hopefully, we can do a table at another event coming up.
The one in May. I'm off in May.
Hopefully, if I can get the day off. Sometimes during the summer with what I do, it's hard to get Saturdays off, but maybe I can if I request it off early enough. Anything else you want to add to this? Because I'm pretty much tapped out.
Oh, the new Star Wars game is finally official to be pre-ordered.
Nice.
Star Wars Outlaw.
And you did it.
Yep.
What comes with it? Because I saw a huge list of stuff that comes with it.
I took a screenshot. Give me a sec to open up. It comes with the Ultimate Edition. Comes with the base game itself, the season pass, SABACCK Shark bundle.
Okay.
Rogue. You want to help me read that?
Oh, Rogue Infiltrator bundle. That's cool.
And a digital art book and 3-day early access.
All right. And I pulled mine up, and I have a couple things I forgot to mention. Ringside Collectibles posted pictures of a Ninja Turtles WWE line. Now, it's not going to be WWE Ninja Turtles. It's going to be WWE stars as Ninja Turtles characters.
That is really cool.
Because I actually have them on the wall. I'm not going to take them down. But they did a Ninja Turtles line where the Turtles were they were dressed up as wrestlers. This time it's the wrestlers dressed up as the Ninja Turtles. Kofi Kingston as Michelangelo. Seth Rollins as Leonardo. Xavier Woods as Donatello. I'm happy about that. Rey Mysterio as Raphael. I'm so glad Rey Mysterio wasn't Donatello because Donatello is my favorite. Cody Rhodes as Casey Jones.
I really want that.
With his American Nightmare logo on the mask. That's really cool. And Roman Reigns as the Shredder, which is actually pretty cool.
That is really cool.
And another thing, we haven't watched this yet, but I am going to download it so we can both watch it. Spoiler, if you haven't seen it, I think it was Supercard of Honor during WrestleMania weekend. Mark Briscoe became the new Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion 1 year, I want to say it was 10 years to the day after his brother Jay Briscoe won the world title. So really cool. Mark Briscoe, very deserving. I definitely want to watch it, but we haven't gotten around. We watched so many things through this show. What do you want to do for the next review for a movie? Do you want to do Iron Claw? The Von Erich movie is the next one?
Yeah, we can watch that one together.
All right, I like it. And we're going to watch Body Slam. I still want to watch that animated movie Rumble.
Yes.
But that John Cena movie,
it's worth it.
It's definitely worth it. Watch this. I'm sure we'll talk about the Raw after WrestleMania. We'll talk about a lot of stuff coming up. But
another movie that was worth it, Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies.
Yeah, we did a review of that. That was it was really campy and really corny, but it was worth
it was worth watching. Are you glad I actually suggested that?
Yes, much better than Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh. What was it? Blood and Honey. Yeah, much better than that. So we'll have a lot of WWE stuff to talk about. I'm sure we'll talk more AEW because we haven't talked a lot about them lately. We haven't talked any Ring of Honor or any TNA because I just haven't been keeping up with them.
Yeah.
Ever since TNA, they switched over to TNA, they changed their streaming service, and I don't know if I'm going to pay for it or not, and I don't get access, so it might just be pretty much watching their pay-per-views and that's it.
Yeah.
So there'll be AEW, there'll be Ring of Honor news, there'll be more WWE because there's a lot going on in WWE.
So now after they get a lot of stuff going, now it's starting to go the other way again.
Yeah. So, at Cheap Pop Show on all social media for all the updates on the show. cheappops.redbubble.com for merchandise with our logos on it. We have a new one that I will be putting up. I keep forgetting to put it up. It's the Blow Pops, logo. It's a parody of that. It says Cheap Pops instead of Blow Pops, and I think it's one of the best ones we've got. Of course, the Double Dare logo parody one is, I think, the best one. But I think what do you think? The G.I. Joe one is your favorite?
I do like that one because I just came up with it right then and there.
No, it's really.
And I sent it right to you.
Yep. So
there was another one I sent to you too.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was that?
You send me so many things, it's hard to remember. And cheappopshow.com, it's pretty much just a gateway to our social media, and I'm going to try to figure out if there's more that I can do with it, but I'm not versed in that stuff, so I did as much as I could with it. But thanks for checking us out. Like, subscribe, comment, and you want to take us out this time?
Pop Guys out.